Shrinking the house on a really bad day out there in Vancouver, BC. Absolutely pouring rain as it does in November. Once again, thank you to my members, man. You guys keep signing up and even upgrading the levels. You know, you have faith in me. You know that I'm going to do as I say, and that's what I do, and that's what I do in life. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So just to let anyone else that's new watching, there's membership for the channel. There's 3 levels. Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. Of course, Level 3, I'm going to go to work. Meaning if you're having an issue building your system or locating a proper component, we can talk about that. And, you know, you can reach me. The email's dave3871@telus.net. Or you can find me on Facebook, Dave Haskins, Haskins. There's a picture of me holding the dog there. We can talk via Messenger. I've already helped and communicated with almost all the people that have signed up for membership. So it's a very small fee that could end up saving thousands in the end. Thousands of hours and dollars. So I really appreciate for you guys that have signed up. So I'm sorry I got to keep mentioning this, but many won't know that it's available. So we're going to get to the topic at hand here that shows in the picture. I always will do the odd review, only for things that I feel just punch way above their weight in build, price, value, presentation, you know, all these things. And I only have one connection other than used market where I can do this, and that's all I really want. It's not something that my channel is really focused on. It is focused on helping others, though, in any which way I can, even if it's got nothing to do with audio. So, as you can see, the brand is fairly new. Revival Audio, it's only been around a few years. It's a brand out of France. They got a few models. They kind of have the vintage vibe, the Alante 3s and 5s, and you know, it's a biggish wooden, nice vintage vibe wooden box. What I like about them is those models are hand built in France. Everything's proprietary. They build their own drivers, their own crossovers. There's pictures of all this on, even for this model that I'm talking about. So, is it going to pass the Danny Ritchie test? I don't know. And it really doesn't matter to me, especially you can only expect so much at the $2,000 Canadian, that is, price point. Now, I've had a few, you know, over the years in and around that price point. One of them really stood out to me was the Acoustic Energy AE 500. I feel that it's really unbeatable at that price. I mean, for one, everything's proprietary. Acoustic Energy's been around for a long, long time. You know, they became famous with their AE1 monitor, which they're actually bringing out the 40th anniversary, which is just awesome. I think it's the 40th anniversary. But it's a cult classic, the AE1 monitor. I've never had it here. They went away for a while, and then they were brought back to life. And they've been putting out some real high value products. So those are a carbon fiber tweeter and driver. You just don't see that at this price point. So when I owned those, the only thing, you know, the base was superb, the real wood veneer and the curved cabinetry, and the overall build was just second to none for that money. It's just they left me wanting on the top end. It was a little bit subdued for my liking. Anyway, and but I've always had faith in that company, like especially with their new flagship tower that's out, the Corinium. That's got to be, I really want them here, but I can get them, but they're just so much for shipping, right? And I bet they work amazing in this room. I think they're like 12 grand for a big 3-way. I think it's a 3-way tower. Gorgeous. I love the aesthetic of the company, and I also love the aesthetic of Revival here. So what I wanted to do is bring in a stand mount that fell into the $2,000 price point Canadian dollars. So you're looking at around $1,500 US. You can see them behind me, guys. They're just gorgeous. again, less is more for me, for the aesthetic. I absolutely love the curved front baffle, which is a proprietary material. Now, this is going to be from far away, but I'm going to show you some really cool stuff. Me, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't want to read a manual. Even for something as simple as this, I think I'm just going to figure it out. So here I go. I try to remove the grill thinking that's a magnet there, which it is. You got to admit, guys, this is beautiful. I mean, and it is a vinyl, guys, but it's the nicest vinyl I've seen. It even has the grain, like the little notches that look like a real wood veneer. I hope you can see this from here. Let me just check. I think you can. I don't need to do close-ups on them. They're pretty gorgeous. I guess I could. You come in there and kind of see what I mean about the way they are, right? With that beautiful, just understated waveguide, and the grain on this vinyl, I can't quite pick it up. There's little sliver notches. It's gorgeously done. Absolutely gorgeously done. They're a beautiful speaker, so everyone's already thinking, oh, I hope I can take those grills off, see what they look like. Well, let me just show you how these work. I was just blown away, like it's... So I thought, okay, I'll just take these off, but they didn't want to come, and if I kept going at it, I would have damaged them. These are on loan from my lovely dealers in Saskatchewan, Everest. Guys, look at this. Bang. Can you believe that? The whole front baffle removes. And it's hefty, like it's some kind of really cool material that it talks about on the website, right? And then what you could do, because the dealer told me that they sound better with the baffle on and grill off. So these also come off. Beautiful magnets, beautiful machining to have all this stuff fit so perfectly. Take that off, you can look at that. Beautiful understated baffle, nice logo there. And then you just come on over. Bang. I mean, come on, man. That is absolutely beautiful, right? I think it is. It's one of the nicest looking speakers I've seen. Like, I can't believe it's $2,000. I can just go up and show you how that looks now. With its basalt proprietary drivers. Everything's made in-house, guys. You know, you can look at the website. It's even got a picture of the crossover. So, I'm kind of blown away at all this stuff. Oh, I didn't show you the binding posts. They're beautiful. I'll go back there and show you those too, I guess. Come on, close up here. Hopefully I can show them. There's those beautiful metal... yeah, it's very hard to... Anyways, guys, I think they're a beautifully built speaker. They got some heft to them. They're good size. They're pressurizing the room. So, now that we got that out of the way, I can talk about how they present. And, you know, I got two pretty high-end amplifiers here, guys. The Bell Canto E1X, which is $12,000 Canadian. And then you got the names Unity Star, which is half that at $6,000. Sorry, almost half, $7,000 Canadian, okay? So at least we have that reference, okay? Now, I don't know how many people are gonna pair a $2,000 speaker with this kind of quality. I wouldn't. These are not a speaker that I intend to keep. And I already know that. So, but what I will say is they sound really, really nice. I'm telling you, they have a little more on the top than the Acoustic Energy. So I already know if I was gonna choose a speaker between those two for me, because I like a little bit of spark with the electronics that I have on top. I like a little bit of resolution. I don't like it to sound subdued, held back, that kind of thing. So I've tried it with both. With the name, which is a real toe-tapping sound, like it's a very kind of front row, exciting. It's not even designed and built to listen to for a long time. It's made to kind of take you on a ride, and a really, like a thrill ride, like a Ferrari. and then you're done and you're satisfied and you turn it off. The bel canto rather is it's more of a highly refined, more of a little bit laid back, yet very propulsive as well. Both have superb bass. Of course, the bel canto is what I would prefer. It's just like I say, though, I gotta be real with you. When you have this kind of amplification and electronics, you want to make sure the speaker is up there too. You know, you don't want to bottleneck the system. You want to bring the best out of it. But I just wanted to show you guys what's out there for $2,000. I have yet to see anything of this build quality or sound for $2,000. And the sound it's pressurizing this room more so than some really expensive mini monitors like the Dali, these kinds of things that I've had in here. It'd be a real tough choice for me because I like to rock, and these just clearly sound bigger. They're a little bit more forward. The Bucarts edge them out in that aspect. The mid-range is better, they're more laid back. But the bass it's very similar, very close. Just saying, if you're looking for a speaker around this price point, I'd seriously look at the Revival Audio Sprint 3. I don't know if I mentioned the model, but they're the entry level in the company. I myself like this aesthetic more than a vintage aesthetic. That's me. This is more of an understated, modern kind of look. Guys are really well built and they sound very, very nice. You know, if you have an amplifier and electronics that's on the more forward, brighter spectrum, hopefully not bright because that's a no-no, but a little bit of grit or glare at times, I wouldn't suggest these speakers. But if you have a more laid-back presentation, a mellower DAC, something like that, these speakers are going to be really, really good. And that's a promise. I've already proven it in here with high-end electronics. So I don't need the speakers. I have my Bucarts, which are double the price, guys. And not always does a speaker double the price be favored, but in this aspect they do. They give me more of a. They are harder to drive. The Bucarts are harder to drive. These are pretty darn easy to drive, to be honest. I can't get the volume up quite near as much with the name. The name has balls. I've always known that for decades. They're so much beyond their power rating. That's another lesson. Don't go by white papers, what anybody else says when it comes to power until you get it in your room. It's a warning. You don't have to listen to me, that's fine, but don't do it. I've had 200 watt per channel on paper that were anemic in my smallest room here. So anyways, thanks for the membership. Like and subscribe. It's really all I got to say about the speaker. I think it's one of the best out there that I've experienced with my electronics, okay? So I tried to tell you what kind of electronics it would pair with well. If you're trying to tame a sizzling system that's a little bit too in your face, these won't be it, because these do have a nice amount on top, you know? But it's lively, there's life to the music. But some recordings can be, and you gotta be careful of that, right? But overall, I just think they're superb value. Great bang for the buck. I love the look, absolutely love the look. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I mean, there will be some reviews of things that I feel are special. And of course, those are the ones that get the views and all that. But, you know, I'm more focused on making this like building a really tight-knit family in which I really help from my heart, right? It's not about the views. I'm really trying to give back the best way that I know how and share the knowledge that I've like painfully learned over decades of not reviewing, but owning. It's different, guys. Like and subscribe. Until the next one. Cheers.